So the theme is about the wounds of the soul, how to heal the soul, and is about feelings. Because when we had difficult experiences, very bad experiences, then this is kind of imprinted in the soul in the form of negative feelings. About people, about situations. So I will go through all of this a bit. I mean, maybe the shortcut, we know the shortcut, because we know that giving these feelings, giving these wounds to Baba, to the surgeon, this will be healed. But this is the shortcut, but we have to understand all the processes, because sometimes it's not so easy. It's better to understand the process, to do it little by little and with focus. So the first negative feeling that I think sometimes emerges in us is fear. Because when we had a bad experience, either with a person or a situation, then this creates in us fear. Then we try to avoid that person, for example. Sometimes it's not so a big thing. I mean, just for example, a discussion, or someone is criticizing you, or you have a discussion with someone. Sometimes it's not so such a big issue, but even though there is a threat between that person and yourself, and there is a kind of fear in the sense of trying to avoid that person. Normally, it's mixed with a sense of dislike. I have this feeling of dislike towards that person, and deeply what this reflects is lack of self-confidence. I mean, if I am self-confident, I don't mind. I mean, if someone criticizes me, if someone is discussing or doesn't agree with me, or I have a discussion with someone, this doesn't affect me. The problem is I feel insecure if I feel with lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, and then I feel weak. And then these situations of these people affect me a lot. So always with one feeling, a negative feeling like this, normally there is another positive feeling that I have to reinforce in some way. So if I have this negative feeling of lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, or this is manifesting in dislike towards someone, or even fear in an extreme situation, I can compensate in some way with the increase of self-confidence. And for that, Baba gives us so many methods, so many. For example, the blessing every day. The everyday blessing, the Murli, is a title that Baba is giving me. So if I take this title, this blessing of the day, and I practice this, and I believe that I am like that, because this is the first phase, to believe in that, because Baba is the truth. So Baba is not lying. He's giving me the reality, the truth, and this is what I am. So if I firmly believe that I am that, the title that Baba gives me, the blessing every day, this is an injection of self-confidence. But I have to do it constantly. It's not enough doing 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. No. If I do it constantly, little by little, I will restore my self-confidence. So, and this will compensate my fears, also my feelings of dislike towards people, because I don't need nothing from nobody. I don't need anything because I have everything. When I have self-confidence, I have everything. I am full. So I am a giver, not a taker. So I don't need to take anything from anybody. So it's, I think this is a secret. One method that is very easy also is to make a list of achievements. Sometimes Baba says, if you have achievement, if you feel that you have achieved things, then you will increase your self-confidence, your self-respect. And it's true. For example, every night, make a list of what you have achieved. Not that day only, but in general. The knowledge that we have, to find God. This is the big one, to find Baba. We are so fortunate, so fortunate. Sometimes I personally think many times that if I don't have this knowledge, if I didn't find Baba, I would be very depressed because of the situation. When you see the situation in the world, when you see so much pain, so much sorrow, so much cruelty, then can you maintain hopes in the humanity, in the world? How you maintain hopes in yourself? So, but because we have the knowledge, because we know what is happening, what happened before, and what is happening in the future, we know everything. And also we have Baba with us. And then we are so fortunate, so fortunate. So just recall all these achievements, and as many achievements I recall every day. Oh, how fortunate I am, which are my specific achievements. I know myself better. I can enjoy my inner world. I can enjoy, have experiences in Parandam. Now I can travel through the 3 worlds. It's the only moment in the cycle that I have this possibility, this consciousness. I have all knowledge of the whole world, of the cycle, the drama, and the 3 worlds. So, and I can experience that. So if I am somehow enjoying my fortune, as much I do that, I will be more self-confident. And then my fears will reduce. And these fears that are the result of bad experiences with situations, with people, will dissolve. It's not a question of fighting. Sometimes we have the habit, say, the sanskar of fighting. Oh, I don't like this fear. I thought I don't have this, but again, it's coming back. It's emerging in me. This thought, this worry, or whatever. This fear, this worry, this dislike, whatever. But if I only start fighting, I won't be successful. Because when I concentrate my attention in something, this is growing. This grows. if I have a worry, a specific worry, and I am fighting against that, a waste thought, and I am fighting. No, I don't want to have this waste thought. Okay. This waste thought will happen. Withdraw. What I have to do is let it go. I mean, don't give it importance. Just concentrate in your achievements, in your fortune, in the positive titles that Baba is giving to you, in sentences of the Murli that are touching your heart, because everybody is different. What touches my heart maybe is not touching your heart. So which are the sentences in the Murli today or yesterday that touch my heart? To recall that. And then the worries, the waste thought will disappear automatically. No need to fight. I heard one sentence I like very much the other day. Light doesn't need to fight. Light doesn't need to fight. I am light. When you enter in a dark room, are you fighting against the darkness? Do we need to fight? No. Just turn on the light. And then the darkness disappears. Isn't it? It's very easy. Just turn on the light. And the darkness disappears. Like in the world. Now the light is a bit incognito. But there will be a moment that the light in the world will light fully, and then all the darkness will disappear. And I am part of this. I am part of the establishment. I am part of that light. So have also this self-confidence of, I am creating the world, the new world, together with Baba. We are co-creators. Isn't it wonderful? We are co-creators of the new world. So, beautiful title. So recall all these titles, all the meaning of these titles. And then my light will be very radiant. And I don't need to fight against my waste thoughts or my fears or my worries. You know what I mean? So focus on the light, not in the darkness. We are here to focus on the establishment, not distraction. We are not focusing on the distraction. We are focusing on the establishment. So don't worry about the distraction. Don't worry about the waste. Just focus on the light, on the establishment, my self-confidence, my self-respect. I think one of the big challenges and also the big risks of the VKs is to maintain and increase the self-respect. This is also a reason why some VKs, we say in Spanish, throw the tower. I mean, they let this path of self-development in some way. Not let Baba, maybe they don't let Baba, leave Baba, but yes, they don't want to continue with this path because they find it very difficult. And why is this feeling of finding this path very difficult? I think there is a deep fear in the souls, in some souls, maybe no, but in some more than in others, is because of this lack of self-confidence. There is the fear of not being able to achieve what Baba is asking us to achieve. And this is fear to change. And sometimes it's very subtle because there are excuses. I put excuses. No, but it's so difficult. No, my health, my physical health is like this, like that. So I cannot do that. I cannot maintain these mariadas, for example, because I am very weak physically. I mean, sometimes it's true. I mean, we have to find a balance between our spiritual life and our physical conditions, of course. It's true. But sometimes there are some excuses. And it's because we are more comfortable in our comfort zones. And I had to realize if this is true or is this just an excuse? Because in that case, what is happening is what is called resistance to change, fear to change. Because I am attached to my wombs. You know, I have attachment to my pain because wombs means pain. And because I have been with those wombs so many years, even lives, I am attached to them. I have resistance to change. I have resistance to let them go. And then also emerge sometimes victimism. I feel a victim. Oh, I am very weak. I cannot do this. This is very difficult. Oh, I ask for compassion in some way, but this is not good because this is showing that I'm not having this sense of responsibility of my life. I try to feel like a victim, to get affection from others, to get love from others. This is not good. So all these reactions are because of fear of change. I have to see, to face my weaknesses, but not to fight with them, but just to see which are the remedies, which are the aspects, the feelings that I have to create to compensate or even to erase or to decrease those weaknesses, you know, and avoid any kind of excuses and victimisms and everything. Another fear or ill feeling that sometimes we have is the feeling of be left out. What does this mean? To be left out. They don't count on me. They don't include me in the team. They didn't ask me to do this service. Sometimes it's like this. I will tell you something. There is a sister, some days ago, one sister from Spain, a sister from Spain, told me, oh, in the last national retreat, nobody asked me to collaborate in the kitchen. And she's a very good cook, but apparently nobody asked her to be included in the cooking team. And she was with some feeling of being left out. Oh, why they didn't ask me? Maybe I did something wrong. What happened? It's a kind of lack of affection from others, lack of love, you don't feel included, okay? And your self-confidence also low down because of that. And she was like this, a bit sad about this. And some days later, in the NC team in Spain, someone said, oh, what a pity that, he said the name of his sister, she didn't collaborate in the kitchen. We missed her. We miss her. And then, so on the one side, she had the feeling of being left out, and she was not enough self-confident to ask for collaborate, to ask to collaborate with the team. And on the other side, they missed her, but they didn't tell her anything because they thought she didn't want to collaborate, you know? And it was just a lack of communication. But this is very frequent. This mistakes or lack of communications or whatever. And then, but the problem is that the ill feelings normally make you more insecure, even, no? More with less confidence, self-confidence. So this is, in fact, they are happy, or not happy, I mean, amazing scenes of drama. And another thing that is very, also very frequent is if you don't have the role that you think you deserve. I deserve a role, but they don't consider, they don't respect me enough for allowing me to have this role. And this is creating me a feeling of being left out. So this is deeply, that is the same as lack of self-confidence, lack of self-respect. Because if I have self-respect, if I have self-confidence, no problem. I mean, if I am not having this role, I will have another one. And the question is that I can do the best. I can give my best in whatever task, whatever service I am asked to do, or I am volunteering to do. You know what I mean? So this role consciousness is, in fact, is lack of self-confidence, is lack of self-respect. So increasing my self-respect, I can avoid that feeling. If I recognize this feeling in me, I can avoid this feeling with an increase of my self-confidence, my self-respect. So I have to be free. The soul is free. We don't have roles. In fact, we don't have anything. And whatever task I do, I can put my soul in that, give my best, doing whatever task I asked to do, or I want to do. So it's very important to liberate myself from all this kind of. I will tell you one experience from my. Sometimes even service is a source of tests for my self-confidence and my powers. Many years ago, I was only 2-3 years in knowledge. One coordinator asked me to translate a whole book from English into Spanish. In that moment, I had a lot to things to do. I mean, I was working at the university, teaching, researching, I was also taking care of my children that they were little, only 4 and 12. So many things I had to do. But I said, yes, I will translate that. And I was translating this at night because I didn't have time during the day. But at night I was doing this extra effort to translate that. And even at the weekends also sometimes. And what happened? This was my test, one of my first tests. Someone told me, oh, I'm translating this. But it has been translated already in South America. Has been translated in South America from English to Spanish. I said, no, I was nearly finishing the book. So in that moment, 2 things can happen. One thing is, oh, I waste my time. So much effort I wasted. And then to take a feeling of dislike towards the person, the coordinator that asked me to do it. This was one option. And the other option was, okay, this person didn't know. And this was not a waste of time because the book was interesting. And also the service, Baba is recording this service. Maybe it's not useful for anybody now, but for Baba is fantastic. And so I think even though I was young in Yan, I took this option, and this didn't make me feel bad. But we have so many tests in BK Life, so many. So don't let those situations, those relations, those tests to make a wound in your soul, in the soul. Otherwise, these feelings will be like chains, like you will cause you pain, inner pain. So another ill feeling is that is also very common is the feeling of envy or jealousy. It's connected also with what we said before of being left out or not. But this is more comparison. You compare. For example, if I have been with Baba in this life for 31 years, now nearly 32 years, okay? And if I see another BK that is only 10 years and is more bright in different things, or even is having services that I would like to have, or whatever, then I can feel this, comparing myself to this BK. Oh, why? Or even if you feel that something is not fair, is unfair, okay, I have more capabilities. Why the person is taking more attention, is giving more service, or whatever? These feelings are very, very bad. Feelings of envy or jealousy. So again, we go to the first idea. I need self-confidence. So I think for having healed all this womb, the self-confidence is vital, is so important, is so important. And then, which is the way to increase my self-confidence and also my self-esteem, we saw some things like, for example, working with titles, recalling achievements, having this feeling of fortune, being very fortunate. But there is, under all of this, there is something very important. That is experience Baba's love. I think Baba's love is what I need to experience Baba's love, because love is the way to heal, to restore the good feelings. Baba's love for myself and for others. I will tell you an experience, a personal experience as well. There was a problem with one relationship with a senior sister. She was senior, she was occupying important role. And I was young in knowledge, very young in knowledge. I think it was my 4th or 5th year in knowledge. And I had the feeling that this sister was always against myself, looking badly to myself. I didn't know why. Maybe envy, maybe jealousy. I don't know why. I didn't know why. But I could feel that energy. And also the words sometimes were very hard. And I thought, why is this happening? Why is this happening? I didn't understand why this was happening, but this was hurting me a lot. And then what I did, I wrote a letter to Daddy Yankee, because it happened that I was traveling to London. And I thought Daddy Yankee will help me to clarify this and to get rid of that, because that relationship was not healthy at all. And was creating in myself also waste thoughts. And instead of hiding that, I said, no, I will do something for healing that. And who else better than Daddy Yankee for helping me? And then I wrote a letter, a very long letter, really very, very long letter, explaining all my feelings, all things that had happened. And then what happened is that I gave this letter to Sister Genti, and Sister Genti was so kind. She told me, come after the class. There was a class in the big hall in London, in Global Cooperation House, and a big hall. And then Sister Genti told me, come after Daddy's class, and she will speak to you about this letter. And then I was sit in the first row. Daddy Yankee was beside me, and also Sister Genti was beside me. And then Sister Genti was reading with a lot of respect all the letter, the whole letter. It was very long. And then, you know what was the reaction of Daddy Yankee? Very interesting reaction. She took the paper, she took the letter, she shrink the letter, And she threw the letter with a lot of strength to the corner of the hall, very far, because Daddy was very strong in that moment. Very, 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 very far. And then she told me, this is waste. This is waste. And then she gave to me a laundry stick, so powerful. She didn't say anything else. So powerful, so loveful, so very, very, very powerful, stick for a long time. And then she said, now let it go. And it was like a relief. And then I knew that this was finished. Interesting. And then what happened? Daddy left. Sister Genti left. And I was alone in the hall. And then I looked for the letter because I had the fear someone could read it. And then I took the letter. I don't know what I did with the letter. I thought, which is the worst place to throw it to the bin? I went to the toilet and then I make it in small pieces and then I throw it to the bin. And it was such a relief. But what happened? Interesting. When I came back to Spain, happened that it was a retreat, a big retreat, national retreat. 2 days or 3 days later of being in London, I came back. There was a national retreat, and this sister was there. The sister that we had a problem between us. And you won't believe it, but that sister had changed as well. I changed, but that sister changed as well. Her energy was totally different. We had nice conversation, a lot of love, not nothing. I mean, was cleaned. So, which was the energy that healed my wounds? The energy of love, Baba's energy. So, deeply, in fact, the question is how to let it go through invoking Baba's love. Okay, we don't have Daddy Yankee now, but we can get Baba's help. Because I think this is our best power. I mean, the best power of the BKs is to invoke Baba's energy. This is our most powerful capacity. We have the capacity to invoke Baba's energy, Baba's love. So why don't use Baba's love to heal myself? And Baba many times says, use me. Why you don't use me? So use Baba for healing. And healing my heart is not only good for me, it's good for all, because this gives me the power in this co-creation task. So it's very, very important. So summarizing a bit, and I'm open to your questions if you want. Summarizing, my points are, we have many wounds because we have had many bad experiences with people, with situations, BKs even, I mean, sometimes brothers and sisters, BK sisters. And this creates in us feelings of fear or feeling of dislike, or feeling even of being left out, or feeling of even jealousy or envy or whatever feelings, ill feelings. But the ways of healing are mainly to increase, not to fight against that feeling, those feelings. Don't fight against those. Light, remember, light doesn't need to fight. Just increase your light, and the ill feelings will be erased little by little. But how? Recalling my achievements, the awareness of my fortune, trying to believe in what Baba is telling me about my titles, honoring Baba through being what he says that I am. Also, through invoking Baba's love, and also this will increase my self-confidence, my self-esteem, and then I won't get influenced by anybody or anything. This is very high state, but we have to try to be like that. Okay, I'm open if you want to ask anything.
Thank you very much, Maria, for your deep sharings from your heart, from your experiences. And I really identified with some of your things that you shared about relationships and how Daddy can intervene, or also Baba interferes. And it's really very important to have this relationship with Baba right now. We don't have the Daddy, but the daddies generally, but yes, Baba is there. You shared many things, and you said about comparison and jealousy and all these things. What about competition? When you face so much competition from others, what you do with the competition? Whatever you do, they try to show they're better. So at that time, what can we do?
What can we do? We can do our best in whatever we do. I mean, with honesty. I mean, if someone wants to compete with me, is their option. I mean, because not to be influenced by that, because you know what? If I feel that competition, then again, this will emerge in myself a feeling of dislike towards those people, towards those BKs sometimes. And this is again an attachment. Those people are invading my inner world. I let those people to influence myself, because the attachment has two sides. On the one side, attachment is towards people that I admire. I love so much someone, and then I get attached to that person. But there is another kind of attachment. That is the attachment because I dislike that person. I have dislike because that person wants to compete with me, against me, or wants my service or my role. But I am losing if I attach, because we know that first is the attachment and after is pain, inner pain. It's a vice. So let it go. You know, there is a sentence that I like very much, Baba says many times, truth doesn't need to be proved. Proved itself. If someone wants to compete with me, and I am doing my best, I don't need to do anything. If I am truthful, who is having the record of my effort? Is Baba, not a human being. I put you the example before of the book, no? When I translated the book. Then who had the record of that? Nobody, because that book didn't go out. I mean, it is in my library, not even in my library. I think I throw it out. But Baba kept the record of that. So be truthful. I mean, be honest and truthful with my own effort, with myself. And also do the things with Baba. In which sense? Another day, one day, some months ago, one sister told me something I like very much. She told me, I realized that I was doing all service for Baba, but without Baba. You know, I was doing all service for Baba, doing a lot of effort, a lot of services for Baba, but without him. And this was, it's like if you are doing many things for one friend, but don't involve him in that. I mean, it's a bit sad. So, in this sense, at the end, it's the closeness to Baba what will help us, not the role, not even the tasks.
Yes, thank you. It was really very important what you shared. I don't see any other question. Just if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I really identified what you said about the book. I had some similar experience. Yeah, somebody told me to translate the website. So I did it. I stay awake all night doing it. And then all of a sudden, somebody else did it. So I said, okay, Baba, you saw me doing this work. That's fine. Let them do whatever they want. Yes, it is really, I understand that very clear. And what you said about Daddy Yankee and the paper that she squeezed it and threw it away. Yes, that's really, well, I had some similar experience, but I didn't give her the paper. I just realized it beforehand. Yeah. So,
The spiritual power we need. So not to fight against waste thoughts, but to increase our spiritual power, increase the capacity, the soul, the light of the soul, and then the darkness of the soul will disappear.
and yes, during this month of December, we are preparing for January, and we are reading this Murli every day, many times that they send us. So we have to become light. We have to be the light and just follow the light and be the light and spread light to the world. So I don't see any question. There is one. How does one stop this habit of fighting with the dark side of oneself? I find it hard to stop analyzing those personality traits. Do you have any tips, alternative habits other than using self-respect points?
Yeah. Let me think, because using self-respect points is one way. But another thing for me is to connect my thoughts with my practice. In which sense? We know very well what we have to do, because Baba is giving us every day the guidelines, the instructions. We know what is right, what is wrong, but everything is theory. Everything is theory. And what happens if I have a lot of theory, but I don't practice, I don't put all that theory into practice, is that I get frustrated. So, and also I can get tired because I don't look results of what I am doing. So practice every day. Even if I fail, then again and again, because this will help me to light my light. It's not only to have knowledge, not even having yoga. Yoga and knowledge are the basis. But for light my light, I need to erase my dark side in some way, my old sanskaras, rooted sanskaras. I have to practice. So I had to put in action everything. I like very much one sentence also. I think it was Sister Genti that said in the class 2 Sundays before. Compassion is love in action. Compassion is love in action. Okay, I know that I am a loveful soul. I know that Baba is loveful. Baba loves me. But I had to put this in action. Otherwise, I won't be compassionate. So, action. I have to practice. And then, if I am focusing in practicing what Baba is telling me and taking the help of Baba for putting this into practice, my dark side will disappear. Little by little. Because I am feeding my light. You know the story, no? The Indian that is telling his child, Indian from America, not from India. The child asked him, what is the human being, or something like that? What is a human being? And the father said, the human being has a goof, a bad goof, and a good goof. And the child said, which goof is winning? And the father said, the goof that the person is feeding. So if I feed, putting into practice my specialities, my light, then my dark side will disappear. So it's a process, but important not only to understand knowledge, not only even to have yoga, of course, having yoga is the basis, but also putting all of this into practice, be compassionate towards ourselves and towards people, with love in action.
Thank you, Maria. A very nice answer. There is some message here. Somebody says, please do not throw that translation away. Maybe it can be also published if permitted by the instrument we gave the task, because Spanish in South America is different from Spanish from Spain. I'm from Finland, but I have studied both Spanish. Maybe someone appreciates the different versions of the translations. And there is something else. If someone is in the dark side, maybe it's better retire, take a rest, get away alone, just himself and Baba until feel again. That was some comment about
which is the end. Let me see.
If someone is in the dark side, maybe it's better retire, take a rest, get away alone, just himself and Baba until feel again. And a question.
Feel again. What?
It's a question, yeah.
Feel again.
Feel until feel again. I don't. Doesn't say anything
If
else.
I understand the question, I don't know if I don't know if if a question of from the side of the one that is in the dark side, or the question from the one that is facing someone that is in the dark side. If it is the second option, the second possibility, then let's think that you are with someone that is in this darkness, bad feelings, whatever. I can put the example of a fire. Let's think that you are walking on the mountains, in a forest, for example, and you see a big fire, or not big, a fire, and then you feel capable to extinguish the fire. Then you try to do it. But if the fire is very big and you don't have the possibility of extinguish the fire, the best way of doing is to escape from there. So you have to discern in each situation with different people how to deal with, because we have this power of discernment. So maybe we can deal with a person, maybe we can't. But sometimes Baba said that the devices are very contagious. So be careful as well. You have to be very prudent, cautious, that not to get influenced. So sometimes it's better to live. I don't know if this was the question or not, because I didn't understand well the end of the sentence, but this is what I was thinking.